Welcome back. Today we're diving into a pivotal moment for humanity's future in space. NASA's greatest missions, returning to the moon, exploring Mars, and peering into the cosmos, are all facing major budget cuts. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the direction of human exploration. We'll break down 5 key NASA programs on the chopping block and what their fate means for our cosmic ambitions. By the end, you'll see what's truly at stake for our place in the universe. The question, will we have the will and the wallet to answer the universe's call? First up, the backbone of America's lunar return, the Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft. SLS is the most powerful rocket ever built, designed to send astronauts and cargo beyond Earth. Orion is the crew's home and command center, built for deep space's harshest conditions. Together, they proved themselves with Artemis I, setting the stage for future moon missions. But there's a problem: cost. Each SLS launch is over $2 billion. Critics say it's unsustainable, especially with commercial rockets like SpaceX's Starship promising cheaper alternatives. The debates stick with NASA's proven expensive system, or pivot to commercial options. SLS and Orion are safe and reliable, but expensive. Commercial rockets are cheaper, but less tested for human spaceflight. Cutting SLS funding could slow Artemis and risk a gap in America's deep space capability. The program also supports thousands of jobs across the country, making it a political hot potato. Lawmakers defend it as vital for national security and industrial strength. The core question: should NASA operate its own rockets or buy rides from private companies? This decision will shape the future of American space policy. It's a tug-of-war between tradition and innovation, government control and commercial agility. The outcome will define how and if we return to the moon. The stakes: America's leadership in deep space exploration, the choice heritage or a bold new commercial era. The ripple effects will be felt for decades. Next, the Lunar Gateway, a planned outpost orbiting the moon. Gateway is a modular space station, built with international partners serving as a staging point for lunar missions. Its unique orbit allows constant communication and access to the entire lunar surface. International collaboration is a key strength, with Europe, Japan, and Canada all contributing. Gateway would let astronauts dock, transfer to landers, and conduct deep space science. But critics question its necessity, arguing it adds complexity and cost. Some say we should go moon direct, skipping Gateway to focus on landing astronauts faster and cheaper. Supporters see Gateway as essential for long-term exploration and as a test bed for Mars missions. It's about building infrastructure for a sustainable presence, not just one-off landings. Budget cuts threaten to delay or shrink Gateway, risking international partnerships and America's reputation. A minimal Gateway could undermine the vision of a permanent lunar foothold. The debate: quick wins versus building for the future. Gateway's fate will signal whether we aim for short-term achievements or invest in lasting infrastructure. It's a referendum on the kind of space program we want. Do we repeat Apollo, or build the foundation for interplanetary exploration? The answer will shape our path to the moon and beyond. The world is watching. For over 20 years, the ISS has been humanity's home in space, a symbol of global cooperation and a hub for groundbreaking science. But the station is aging, and its $3 billion annual cost is hard to sustain. NASA plans to retire the ISS around 2030, shifting focus to commercial space stations in low Earth orbit. The risk: a space station gap if new private stations aren't ready in time. Losing the ISS before replacements are online could leave the US without a human outpost in orbit for the first time in decades. That gap could hand leadership in low Earth orbit to China's Tiangong station. The transition is risky. Commercial stations must be ready, reliable, and affordable. Budget cuts could slow this handoff, making the gap more likely. The debate: extend the ISS at high cost, or trust the private sector to deliver on time? The outcome will determine America's presence and influence in orbit for years to come. It's a high-stakes transition from government-led to commercially driven spaceflight. The world is watching to see if the US can pull it off. The future of orbital science and leadership hangs in the balance. Mars Sample Return is NASA's most ambitious and troubled science mission. The goal: bring Martian rocks and soil back to Earth for the first time. Perseverance rover is already collecting samples, but the next steps are daunting: a lander, a fetch rover, a rocket launch from Mars, and an orbital rendezvous. The scientific payoff would be huge, unlocking secrets about life on Mars and the planet's history. But costs have soared past $11 billion, forcing NASA to pause and rethink the mission. An independent review called the original plan unrealistic. Delays risk losing the samples if Perseverance fails and open the door for China to beat the US to this historic first. China's Tianwen-3 mission aims to return Mars samples by 2030. If NASA cancels or delays, it's not if we get Mars samples but who brings them back first. Losing this race would be a seismic shift in planetary science and global leadership. NASA must find a cheaper, faster way or risk ceding the red planet to China. The scientific community calls this mission the top priority for planetary exploration. The challenge: redesign quickly, or lose a once-in-a-generation opportunity. The stakes: American leadership in deep space and the next giant leap in our search for life. The clock is ticking, the world is watching. Will we lead or follow? Now let's look beyond the solar system, at NASA's space telescopes, our eyes on the universe. Hubble and Chandra have revolutionized astronomy, but both face mission-ending budget cuts. Losing them would blind us to key parts of the cosmos: visible, ultraviolet, and X-ray. These telescopes work together with new observatories like James Webb, providing a complete picture of the universe. The next-generation Roman space telescope is also threatened by delays and cuts. The root problem: budget overruns in big missions like JWST and Mars Sample Return are draining funds from other science programs. The astronomy community warns that cutting these missions is short-sighted, sacrificing decades of discovery for short-term savings. These telescopes are more than tools. They're cultural icons, inspiring millions and fueling curiosity. Shutting them down means choosing to know less, see less, and dream less. The debate: is cosmic discovery a luxury or an essential investment in our future? The answer will shape our understanding of the universe for generations. The fight for funding is a fight for the soul of exploration. Will we keep our eyes on the stars or turn away? So, from rockets to outposts, Mars missions to cosmic telescopes, America's space ambitions are at a crossroads. These aren't just budget lines, they're choices about our future. The decisions made now will shape the next 50 years of exploration and leadership. Will we lead or step aside? The space program belongs to all of us. So what do you think? Which program matters most? Where would you invest? Let's talk in the comments. Thanks for watching.